You spent countless nights in a haze, more than you care to admit. Deep down, you know it's true. There's no point in pretending otherwise. Each time you lay down, a heavy weight settles in your chest, a nagging certainty that today was just another page in a story you wish you could rewrite. Yet, here you are, trapped in the same monotonous cycle, clinging to the hope that change will somehow find you. I have something to say that may sting. Change isn't a gentle breeze, is a fierce storm. It doesn't arrive softly, nor does it ask for your consent. You must seize it with both hands, or it will remain forever out of reach. There's no compromise here, and if you continue to wait, hiding behind your excuses and distractions, you'll remain stuck in a life that leaves you hollow. You feel that emptiness each time you switch off the lights and confront the silence that envelops you. You don't need me to remind you of this, yet instead of taking action, you choose to deceive yourself. You tell yourself the same comforting lies: I'll start tomorrow. It's not the right moment. I need to take care of this first. And so the days slip away, and the years fade into the background. But hear me now, tonight could be different. Tonight could mark a change. Not because fate has singled you out, not because a sign will illuminate the night sky, but because you have the power to make it so, right here and right now, without waiting for permission or further hesitation. And here comes Tarantino, because, contrary to your beliefs, your narrative is not etched in stone. You have the power to alter the script. You can rewrite the dark tale of your existence. You can step into the role of the protagonist instead of lingering as a mere shadow in your own story. But beware, for there is a cost, and that cost is the unvarnished truth. The method is chillingly simple: a notebook, a pen, and the haunting silence of the early hours. 3 elements, nothing more. You don't need a guru. You don't need another self-help tome. You don't need to wait for the flicker of motivation. You simply need to sit down, inhale the cold air, and write. Write about your failures. No filters, no sugarcoating, no alibis. You often wrap yourself in comforting lies to evade the harshness of reality, because here lies the grim truth: you remain stagnant because you lack the courage to confront your own reflection. You would rather shun the mirror than face the grotesque visage staring back at you. Nietzsche warned, become who you are. But here's the sinister twist: to achieve that, you must first unearth the true essence of your being, and that revelation doesn't come from motivational platitudes or hollow affirmations. It demands a ruthless dissection of every mistake, every fear, every doubt that has led you to this abyss. Dostoevsky cautioned suffering is the most potent instrument for self-discovery, and you have been fleeing from it. You've dulled its edge with distractions, with hollow entertainment, with the delusion that if you ignore the darkness long enough, it will vanish. It will not vanish. Change only occurs when you choose to remove the blindfold and confront the reality beneath. And if you're truly honest with yourself, what lies beneath is often a wreck. But here's the bittersweet truth: wrecks can be rebuilt, errors can be amended, and narratives can be reshaped. Take Tarantino, for instance, a seemingly ordinary man with no connections and no clear direction, yet he possessed something that many lack: an all-consuming passion for the story he yearned to share. And here's the crux: it was his story, not the one the world anticipated, nor the one dictated by his circumstances. It was his. And you? What tale are you crafting? Is it genuinely yours, or merely a narrative imposed by others? The divide between those who evolve and those who remain ensnared in mediocrity is stark. The former confront themselves with the same raw honesty that Tarantino infuses into his scripts. They refuse to soften the harshness of reality. They don't conceal their failures. They don't hide behind hollow excuses. So here's the challenge tonight: when the world is quiet and everyone else is asleep, take a notebook and write. No self-censorship, no mercy. Reflect on your truth, however painful it may be. List all the things you've done wrong, every foolish choice, every fear that has kept you stagnant, every excuse you've clung to in order to avoid taking action. Write until it stings, and when the pain sets in, keep writing. Then seek out the solutions. Don't try to rationalize anything. Don't convince yourself that it's not that simple. It's not simple. If it were, everyone would be doing it. But here's the harsh truth: they don't share you. You don't have to solve everything tonight. You only need to make one small decision, something tangible that you can do tomorrow to begin shifting your path. Because if you wait until you feel prepared, you'll never feel prepared. If you wait for the fear to fade, it will linger indefinitely. The only way to conquer fear is to act in spite of it, and the only way to rewrite your narrative is to take the pen and start crafting it yourself. This is the painful reality. No one reveals you can change your life in a single night, not because all your problems will vanish instantly, but because the moment you choose to confront the truth without excuses, that's when everything begins to shift. There's no scripted fate, no set conclusion. There's only the story you dare to tell, and the one you resign yourself to endure. Which one will you choose? If you've reached this point, it's because a part of you understands that you must take action, not for fleeting inspiration or temporary motivation, but because the hollow feeling that envelops you each night is a stark reminder that something in your life is amiss. This isn't merely a matter of bad luck or unfortunate circumstances, nor is the universe conspiring against you. It's a deeper issue with the narrative of your life. Your story isn't unfolding on its own. It's being shaped by every choice you make, and perhaps more crucially, by every choice you shy away from. You might believe that inaction is a neutral stance, but it isn't. Each time you delay what you know you must confront, you're actively choosing to remain stagnant. And here's the unsettling truth. If you don't take control of your own narrative, someone else will seize that role. The expectations of others, societal pressures, and the monotonous routine that dulls your spirit will take over. How many people do you know who are mere shadows of themselves? Individuals stuck in jobs they despise, in relationships that leave them empty, in bodies they loathe, and in minds that feel foreign to them. Do you understand why they find themselves in such a state? At some point, they chose the path of least resistance, convincing themselves that drifting along was the easier option, that this was simply what life had to offer. But that is the most perilous deception of all this, as life is the mantra of those who have surrendered their pen, relinquishing the chance to write their own story. You need to grasp this once, and for all. There isn't just a single script for you. There isn't only one predetermined ending. There are countless versions of you lurking in the background, and each one hinges on the choices you make starting today. It could be the version that continues to repeat the same patterns, clinging to past mistakes, and finding reasons to remain unchanged. Or it could be the version that takes control, sits down, and begins to analyze every single mistake, without any numbing. I know what you're thinking. You lack time, energy, and clarity. What you truly lack is the bravery to confront what you know you'll uncover when you start writing. The issue isn't that you don't have answers. The issue is that you already know them, and you don't like what you see. You understand what needs to change, what you're doing wrong. You recognize where you're falling short, but acknowledging it is painful, because admitting that you've been the creator of your own suffering means accepting that you could have chosen differently, and that's tough. It's really tough. However, here's the catch: that pain is the only way out, the sole escape from stagnation. If you have the courage to face what you've done with your life, you also possess the ability to change it. Yet, most people don't go that far. Many choose to dull their senses with distractions, drowning in hollow entertainment, clinging to the futile hope that time will mend their wounds. Allow me to spare you the years of disillusionment. Time does not heal anything unless you wield it to transform. Instead, it becomes a graveyard for all the versions of yourself that could have emerged. And here, the tale takes a darker twist. For in this metamorphosis, there lies an underestimated element: the power of silence. Reflect on the moments when you truly grasped something profound about your essence. It wasn't amidst the clamor. It wasn't while mindlessly scrolling through your phone in search of another escape. It was in the stillness of the night, in those fleeting moments before slumber, when the only company you had was your own restless mind. This is why the method calls for the early hours, for night is the only time when the world ceases its relentless interruptions. It is the solitary hour when external noise fades, when no one demands anything from you, allowing you to finally confront your own voice without distortion. And here lies the unsettling truth. If you dread being alone with your thoughts, it's because you are aware of the lurking monsters within, and it is precisely these fears that you must confront. The night becomes your editing chamber. It is the time to sever ties with scenes that no longer serve you, to rewrite the dialogues of your existence, to alter the very tone of your narrative. You don't need to accomplish everything in a single night, but you must begin, as every moment you spend without taking charge is another moment where someone else is doing it for you. If you need an example, consider Tarantino once more. He didn't become a cinematic genius because someone granted him permission. He didn't wait for the world to validate him before he started writing. He isolated himself in a room and created because he realized something you may not have fully understood. Yet you don't require anyone's approval to change your narrative. But there's more. something that isn't often mentioned when discussing personal transformation. Change isn't solely about adopting the right behaviors. It's also about eliminating the wrong ones. This is where many people stumble. They concentrate so much on incorporating new habits, creating endless goal lists, and vowing that this time they will change, that they overlook the fundamental truth first. You must remove what's unhealthy. Picture your life as a film you've been shooting continuously for years. Poorly executed scenes, repeated takes, and nonsensical moments. Before you create something new, you need to edit the old. So take action tonight, right? But not just about your desires. Write about what you need to release that unfulfilling relationship, that habit harming your health, that recurring thought that keeps you confined. Seek them out, identify them, and do what any competent director would: remove them from the narrative. But let me clarify, this isn't some kind of sorcery. It's not a simple trick to motivate yourself. It's not about jotting down a list and waiting for fate to intervene. It's about committing to transform it into a guide for action, looking at your reflection tomorrow, and knowing that, even if just for one night, you found the strength to confront your true self without any facades. Because if you truly embrace this, if you genuinely take that step, something will shift within you. It won't happen overnight. It won't be easy. The distinction between a forgettable tale and one that resonates lies not in the flawlessness of the hero, but in their capacity to alter their path when all hope seems lost. So, I ask you, will you continue to play a minor role in your own story, or will you take a seat tonight and begin crafting the part you were meant to play? Here's something that may not have been made clear to you before: there's no going back. There's no signpost that says, this is your moment. There's no safety net, no assurances. There's only tonight, this choice, this fleeting moment. And if you hesitate too long, if you keep delaying, if you keep running away, one day you'll look back and realize that time has slipped away. It's the unspoken fear that haunts us, not the dread of failure or the anxiety of making mistakes. The true fear lies in waking up one day to find that you've run out of chances to change, that the narrative has progressed too far, that the moments of opportunity have slipped away, and that you've transformed into the very person you vowed you would never become. The most painful part is that it won't come with a grand dramatic revelation. There won't be a climactic scene accompanied by stirring music. Instead, it will be a quiet realization, a collection of small choices that, before you even notice, will have constructed the prison in which you'll spend your remaining days. You must choose now, not tomorrow, not next week, but now. Each day you delay is another day the world takes from you. And believe me, the world is all too willing to fill the void you leave unclaimed. If you don't define who you are, someone else will step in to do it for you. But the cruelest truth is this: no one is coming to rescue you. There's no hidden mentor waiting in the wings, no unseen force ready to lift you from your despair. No one is going to arrive with a miraculous solution. The only person who can truly save you is yourself, and that realization shouldn't frighten you. It should set you free, because if you are the issue, you are also the answer. Look around. The world is filled with individuals who drift through life on autopilot, repeating the same patterns day after day, lamenting their existence yet never taking steps to change it. You cannot afford to be one of them. If you've come this far, if you're still here, it's because a part of you understands that you are not destined for a life of mediocrity. The only distinction between those who evolve and those who remain stagnant is this: the former choose to act before they feel prepared. They don't wait for motivation to strike. They don't wait for fear to vanish. They don't wait for clarity to emerge. They take action because they grasp something that eludes most. Fear doesn't vanish before you begin. It fades as you progress. Now, take a moment to close your eyes and imagine this: tomorrow you wake up and everything remains unchanged. Same excuses, same struggles, same monotonous routine. A month goes by, a year passes, a decade slips away, and you find yourself still trapped in the same cycle. How does that thought resonate within you? If it sends a chill through your core, then you already know what you must do. You can't keep waiting. You can't keep delaying. This evening, take that pen, open your notebook, confront the truth, and write what you've been avoiding. Spend time analyzing each of your excuses with the same ruthlessness as a director who isn't hesitant to eliminate scenes that don't fit. Ultimately, there are just two kinds of people in this world: those who craft their own narrative and those who allow others to shape it for them. Which one will you choose to be? If this video resonated with you, and a particular phrase has lingered in your mind, I encourage you to share it in the comments. I'm rewriting my story. If you've reached this point, it's because a part of you has already made that choice. even if you haven't fully realized it yet. If you're interested in more content like this, consider subscribing, but only if you're truly prepared to confront the truth. We don't offer gentle content here. We keep it raw and authentic. If you're still with us, it's because you're seeking something deeper. Now, go ahead and write. No more excuses.